old social medias that I think it was the copyright issue.
That's pretty good. Is it the APRA?
Who owns the song? Are you with the record label?
I'm with Mushroom Publishing.
I wonder if they're hooked into the system and they had your song in there, because I think it's all very like automated. Oh shit! I'm playing it again, which is the wrong thing to do. Some people will be with us now. I'm just going to let everyone else know what is happening. Haha, get it? Here now. I'm just going to see if I can post in the comments of that old chat stream as well, of the now taken down. YouTube is such dicks, man. I've been trying to be very careful about all the copyright stuff, and in spite of my best efforts, they're really trying to keep me down. I don't even know if I can get to the... Hey, can you play a little song, Priya?
Sure.
It'll be a great way to kind of kill time and enjoy your beautiful art while I try and get everyone hip to what's happening. Oh, it won't even leave me in the comments. What a pack of dicks.
Took my lure when I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hill when a landslide brought me down.
I love that we got taken down for a copyright issue. And you're like, you know what'll fix this? I love that we got taken down for a copyright issue, and you're like, you know what I should do? A Fleetwood Mac cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should cut that out, Priya. Hey, so for everyone who's jumping back in, because our viewers are slowly trickling back in as they've realised that we're back up online.
Wait, how many viewers have we got? Like 1 million?
Yep. We'll go with that.
Cool.
They're trickling in, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Should I tell people that I was going to talk to you? Nah.
What's that, sorry?
I don't know any people. What?
Should you have told people, did you say? Tell them afterwards, because this hopefully this video will go up online afterwards. My fear now is that all that beautiful first 45 minutes of happening number 4 will just be lost in the YouTube machine somewhere.
Nah.
It's fucking bullshit, man. Hey, I got to say, Priya, for someone who was sick a week leading up to a lockdown for a month and just got made redundant, you seem to be in good spirits. What's your secret, girl?
Definitely music and definitely building.
Just like keeping busy creating shit, basically.
Yeah, making stuff.
I love that. Can you give us a little tour of what you've made?
It helps that we have Jacinda too.
Tell me about it.
I made this loft. It's
Did you paint it as well?
Because it's got all my shit. I need to make I'm going to make a bloody cupboard for all my crafts and shoes. And yeah, that's the loft up there.
That's really cool.
I didn't make the bed because I just woke up pretty much. And I made it so I could have a space to make music. Because it was a bit squashed before.
Sick gat.
Thanks. It's actually Madeline's, my famous sister.
You got a couple famous sisters. You're famous. You're all famous.
Sorry, this is just my waitress.
Okay.
I've got a real tight, flat bubble.
That's so nice. How many people are you cohabitating with at the moment?
4 others. Quite a few.
Is that going okay? So it's just me and my wife in a big house. I feel really guilty about it because
What?
I've got 2 other I've got 2 other flatmates, but they went to live with their boyfriends through this period. So now we've just got this.
Say they went
big
to their
house.
family batch in Pawanui.
Nah, dude, we don't roll like that, unfortunately. Wish we did.
Yeah, we've got a big backyard. I live in Mount Eden, and my only outing's been to the pharmacy to get my happy pills.
Nice.
And also my butt bullets. And
can I inquire a little bit about what a butt bullet is?
It's when I get stressed, I get hemorrhoids, and so a butt bullet is like ultra propped, the ointment that's in a bullet shape, so it gets up there.
Huh. Does it work? Is it effective?
Too much information. Yeah, it does, but you have to be very religious about it. I mean, not religious. Oh, that's
like
bad.
You gotta pray before you put it up your.
Yes.
Where it goes.
No, you just got to do it all the time to make sure that the bleeding stops.
Cool, man. Well, what a wonderful way to promote your great song that people can find on Spotify. What's the quickest way to get to your music now? You just search up Priyasami, Priyasami.
That's Priya, actually. I did a Beyonce.
Oh, sick. You're just Priya now.
Yeah, but you have to say Priya, keep on explaining to find it on Spotify, because I tried it and all it comes up with is with Priyanka Chopra. And then that's quite hard because I look so much like her that you might get confused. True. And then you might think I make shit pop music, but I make good pop music.
That album art, by the way, and it was Jeremy Toy, right, who did the production on the track?
Yeah. I did some field recordings in India. That was the sample.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was actually in a hotel room in Vizianagaram with my guru and her, the singer of her trio, and a guy that was just looking after them for the concert, because I went on tour with my guru. And in India, you say you're a singer and they go, okay, sing something. And he was just this organizer guy. I think he was an accountant, and he just had the most beautiful voice. And I just quickly turned on my test cam and got it. But yeah.
Dope. Man, nice work. Love that field recordings. It makes it mean a bit more as well.
Yeah, it's a spiritual song, and it means like the changing of seasons, and that, things are gonna be all right. Like, it's change.
Hey, well, that seems so appropriate for right now, right? That's what people got to keep in mind, that there's a lot of change happening, but change will keep happening and we'll come out the other side.
Yeah, and just everyone don't be dicks just because you're young.
You're very wise, Priya. And you didn't used to be. Neither of us were. Back when we used to see each other a bit more, we were just drunk hooligans who would just run into each other at parties and around town and stuff. But
and you used to do toilet reviews, and I thought, this dick. But you're actually all right.
But look at me now, Priya, and look at you. Look at us.
Me now. Hey. Oh, that's terrible.
Sick, man. We're going to do some more stuff on the show and attempt to claw back all these viewers that we lost, which I think we might have successfully done because of your beautiful voice, beautiful face, and beautiful interview. So thank you for joining us on Happening number 4. Catch you later, buddy. Stay safe.
Bye, Kakitu.
And bullets.
I got this from my building, by the way.
Oh, hold on. I've got a close-up here of a Band-Aid. Is it all right? It's not infected or anything, eh?
Nah, one of my flatmates is a doctor, so she butterfly stitched it. It was from a joist hanger. Nice. It was sore. Catch you later.
All right. See you. And we're back. Hey, I wonder if this is going to fix the sync issue. Please do keep me up to date with how the audio is. I actually am not seeing a lot of comments now, which is scaring the crap out of me. Even though, hey, we got like 50 concurrent viewers right now. It's not the 80 we had before YouTube pulled us down. But this freight train's not going to stop, people, because we're bringing art to everyone. In fact, on that note, we've got a really cool short film to show you from Stu Dolman. I say short film, it's borderline not. What have you got to know about Stu before I play this movie? Stu has a beautiful mind. And if you ever get the opportunity to, in particular, go to one of his like full festival hour-long shows, you need to, because he's a crazy genius. And he sent me, okay, we're here, we're good. Hi. Seems just your mic, about a half a second out. Yeah, that's probably not going to get fixed on this episode. I'm sorry about the sync issue, but we'll see if I can figure that out later. So Stu sent me a message. He said, hey, mate, I've got some older stuff that I've made, or I can make you some new stuff. And I said, I'd love for you to make me something new. And then he went away for a day and a half, and he came back and he said, hey, man, I'm in a bit of a weird space at the moment, but this is what I've made for you. And I will always welcome with open arms any offering that Australian comedian Stu Dolman brings to my lap. So without further ado, this is like an 8.5 minute movie, 3 minutes of which are credits. This is Stu Dolman and the mystery of the 1999 Mitsubishi Lancer. Enjoy.
Oh, hot, 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 hot. Want a new 1.5 litre Lancer GLI Coupe for a low $17,990? Drive away, no more to pay? You got it. Or a new 1.8 litre Lancer GLI Sedan for a low $19,990? Drive away, no more to pay? You got it. Both with air conditioning, both with CD player. You got it. That's what you want. You got it. All you ever need. You got it. It's a not so bad. It's a nicer place. Shut up your face. It's a not so bad. It's a nicer place. Shut up your face.
The three main chords you'll need for the intro are A minor, C, and G sus2. The strumming pattern I'm playing is down, down, up, like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So play that strumming pattern once on the A minor, once on the C, and once on the G sus2, and it goes like this. And then the last bar of the intro, the strumming is easy. It's just down, up, like this. And keep your finger on the G sus2 shape all the way through. Basically, the only note that's changing is on the third string. You're playing 2, 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, 2, 0. But instead of playing the note individually like this, you play it as you strum the G sus2 chord, so it sounds like this. 2, 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, 2, 0. And play that pattern twice on the G sus2. So it's one strum on the A minor, the C, and the G sus2, and then the down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up on the G sus2. Let me play you through that intro then one more time, putting it all together. Not only is that the intro, but you also play it as a little gap between the chorus and the verse. Now the strumming pattern for the verse is the same as the strumming pattern you play in the intro. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So the first three lines of the verse, you just play one pattern on A minor and three on C, like this. Then the second half of the verse you play twice on G and twice on A minor, like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, We will not be shut down by YouTube just yet. Tim Bat here, back for Happening number 4, part dos. Just had a few technical issues happen while that very wonderful short film by Stu Dolman was playing. Stu Dolman, by the way, you can follow online. Didn't get his handles in time. Sorry, because my little preview screen went away. So now I have to do things in a very particular way, which means I don't get to preview shit anymore. So what I wanted to share... Oh, man, I definitely can't read that either because it's now going to be so small. So I'm going to read for you instead what wonderful email YouTube sent to me. Hi, Happening. As you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow and what we don't on YouTube. Your video Happening 4 was flagged to us for review. Which one of you little snitches flagged such a, in good faith attempt to bring everyone together for review? Anyway, upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines and removed it from YouTube. We know this might be disappointing, but it's important to us that YouTube is a safe place for all. All right, get off your high horse. You're Google. You're very bad people. You work with the government, you know? Get up in my grill for trying to support artists. Oh, are you kidding me? I've got a cool little warning come up that said, heads up, we've detected copyright audio and video on your stream. This is on the new one. I've temporarily blocked it. Wait, am I still online right now? Give us a shout if I am, or if they're going to try and take us down a second time. Now, this is probably an opportune moment to mention to you that we're trying to get up in a lot of different places. One of the things that we're doing for sustainability of this project is we've got a Patreon, so you can financially support this and the artists. If you go to patreon.com/ let me get this thing. I think it's just Happening Show. Well, this is Happening Show. Some of them are different. Patreon.com/Happening Show. You'll be greeted with the 3 Dr. Phil flavored tiers of financial support that you can provide to the show. Because what I would like to do, but it's very expensive, is there is this thing that I can get which will allow us to simultaneously stream on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter all at once. So if Facebook wants to be dicks, then everyone can just pick it up on the Twitter or the Facebook. But it costs quite a lot of money to get that done. So if you have financial means at the moment, and I definitely recognize not everyone does, feel free to jump on patreon.com/Happening Show. And if we get enough people in there, hopefully I'll be able to make that little investment to make sure the show can keep going in spite of Google's best efforts to shut the little man down. Okay, because of that little bit of equipment failure I had before while Stu's short film was playing, Skype's going to get a little bit harder for me now, so bear with me, folks. But hopefully we are going to have a great segment, which we've had on not once, not twice, but, yep, actually twice before. It's the wank review. So now I need to get Eli on screen live with you all instead of doing the real tricky way I was doing it before, where I could hide it from you and then just throw it on. So bear with me for one mo, folks, while we get the beautiful boy himself on, co-host of the Male Gaze podcast, which you should be listening to if you're not already. Co-hosted by Chris Parker, who brings us the banal office chat that you may be missing out on while you're working from home. I believe Eli is on screen now. Hello, Eli. Looking beautiful. Oh, well, thank you so much. Let me make sure I've got your audio on, actually. Blam, there we go. We should be able to hear you now. What is good in the world of Eli Mathewson's Daily Wank Review?
Everything's really good. I'm really happy. Got a bit of feedback around the segment, so I've changed my tack this time.
Oh.
People were kind of criticizing it for being less of a review and more of a recap. So I've kind of looked into some of the more famous styles of review. I don't know if you've ever heard of a man called Roger Ebert. He's done a few.
Heard of him?
Yeah.
Done a few wank reviews.
I don't know if he's reviewed wanks. I feel like I'm pioneering that, but he was a pioneer of the review format, which was to be kind of like a little bit sassy, really like a little bit fun, lots more critical, you know. So I've actually handwritten all this whole review.
Oh my god, fantastic!
All right, here it comes. They don't make wanks like they used to. Oh, sorry. You good for me to start?
I was just laughing at comes because it can be a homonym.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let's go. They don't make wanks like they used to. This turgid excuse for self-love rolled out of bed with all the pip and pip of a 2,000-year-old corpse. 'Twas a bold call to leave most of the clothes on, and one that left this reviewer wondering, where's the romance of the old-fashioned hand shuffle gone? Masturbation was once an art form to be treasured, looked forward to, and exalted, not something to be farted out because you have a spare 2 minutes. I recall the many great wanks. Gone with the Wank, Citizen Wank, Wank-tanic. What happened today was not just forgettable, but something I hope to forget. In fact, I feel ashamed to have the duty of reporting on it. We're on to page 2.
Nice.
For a review of my esteem to have to trudge through what occurred today is shameful. This was a wank so bad, New Zealand will soon go to level 5, meaning not only will you have to stay home, but you must also close your eyes and cover your ears, lest you have to hear or witness anything about what happened in today's feeble excuse for a masturbation event.
Oh
Better luck
no.
next time, wanker.
That is so devastating, but such a beautifully written, well-articulated framing of what the wank is now compared to what it used to be. And what a devastating result for today's wank, Eli. If it was a film that you could liken it to, would this be, for example, the Cats of wanks?
No, because Cats is more kind of abstract and exciting. I think it's more like the Dumb and Dumberer of wanks, you know. So one come out of 5 possible comes there, by the way.
Dumb and Dumber is probably a really good touchstone because its sort of previous source material was very enjoyable. Everyone had a lot of fun. There was a lot of talent on display, and then you kind of pushed it too far, and obviously to a terrible
I think that's comparable.
result.
Tried some of the same old routines, tried some of the same old tricks, and guess what? They didn't fly like last time.
I think I've asked you this in previous segments, but for our first-time watchers, Eli, do you have any recommendations for people who are practicing self-love during this isolation period across the globe?
Or recommendations for what? Sorry, you just kind of I didn't hear you there.
Recommendations for self-love that people are practicing in the privacy of their own little bubbles.
Breathe. Definitely take the time to get all the clothes down, get the lighting right. Put on some music you might like, you know, like make it a proper thing. You know, don't just fling it out. You know, this is your time for you, and you've got a lot of these coming up, so you might as well get better at it.
Kia ora talofa. Thank you very much, Eli, for the Daily Wank Review. It's always good to see you, and I'm sorry today wasn't a better result, but you really, I love the direction you've taken the Daily Wank Review in. So thank you for all your efforts.
No, thanks for having me.
See you, buddy.
Wank you later.
Wank you later. What an offer. We've got another cool segment that we're starting just today, which is we've got some cool titles for, and this is featuring Alexander Jones, who is someone who has helped immensely, both on this project behind the scenes and on other projects that I've done. He's a big help on Little Empire, which is the podcast network that I run. AJ's been doing so much shit for me for free just because I think, you know, we're on the same page that we just want to get some cool shit out there, and luckily he's got a job now. That wasn't always the case. But now he can eat, so he's just contributing to things. I'm going to try and get him on the phone. Man, I tell you what, trying to do this without the second screen, because it broke, is tricky. I actually did put a little call out to my darling wife to maybe grab some batteries out of the studio to get that working, but I think she's Animal Crossing at the moment, and she's fucking earned it, so good on her. Let's get AJ on the line, whose podcast, Cult Popture, you should absolutely check out. If you're a fan of movies, shit, he is a good reviewer. He and his mate Richard do this fantastic. But I know there's a lot of movie review podcasts out there. I know that I do one. But honestly, Cult Popture is really fucking good. So I'm going to play now the intro for the great segment for AJ and then get him on the line, God willing. Here we go. Hey, AJ.
Oh, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I had to be quiet because your intro was playing and it's really dope, so I don't want to talk over the top of it. But now I can't kind of like triage callers as they come in. So
I see.
we
see.
good.
No, okay, cool. I thought it was my fault. And I was like, God, I'd set everything up. I tested it. And then I was like, typical. But we're all good. We're all good.
It's good to see your face, man. You've got a segment you bring to us which is called Actual Movie or Cheese Dream. It seems like the sort of clue is in the title, but can you explain to us what we're doing today?
Okay, so I've got 8 movie descriptions in front of me that I'm going to read out to you. And you have to figure out, Tim, and no looking in the comments because people would be able to cheat. You have to figure out if I'm describing an actual movie or if I'm actually just describing a dream I had after eating too much cheese.
Okay, great.
Cool. So I've zhuzhed up some of the fake ones so they sound a bit more real. So if it sounds like I have real specific cheese dreams, sometimes I do, but some of them are a bit, they've been a bit fictionalized for the sake of the segment. So the first one we're going to do, Tim, is this an actual movie or a cheese dream? Le Monologue de Xanthar, or The Monologues of Xanthar, is a French animated film about a talking pig who recites Shakespeare. Is this a cheese dream or an actual movie?
I just received a battery from my wife. Sorry, was that a talking pig?
Yes.
Who recites Shakespeare?
Yeah, The Monologues of Xanthar.
I'm going to say cheese dream. I don't think that's real. I think you made that up in your head.
I did make that up in my head. That is a cheese dream. I remember it. It was a few years ago. I wrote it down because it was so absurd. And I remember like a zoom out in my mind's eye of this pig. And it said, "What will happen next on the Monologues of Xanthar?" And so I wrote that down. All right. Okay.
It's fucking good, though. Maybe you should make that dream a reality.
That's the case with almost all the cheese dreams on this list, I think.
Yeah, totally. Okay, next one, please.
All right, so Kooky, Kooky, is an independent live-action stop-motion animation Czech film about a little pink teddy bear named Kooky who attempts to escape a landfill with the help of junk creatures, including a forest guardian referred to throughout the film as Captain Goddamn.
I don't want to what I'm trying to do is pad for time so people can take a guess before I jump in, but this is absolutely too much detail for you to have dreamed up in your head. The fact that it's Czech is a nice little detail, so it's absolutely a movie. It sounds like an Eastern Bloc version of Pengu. Is that what that was called? Pengu? Pengu.
You mean the penguin?
You know what I'm talking about, the little kids cartoon with the stop motion claymation. And he's spoken a kind of... it was sort of a gibberish that was close to... sounded kind of Scandinavian almost, the language that little guy used. But I'm going to say absolutely a movie. It's real.
It is an actual film. Kooky was directed by Jan Sverak in 2010. It has a lot of the creative team behind indie games Machinarium and Botanicula, if anyone's played them. Very strange. I don't know why in a kids movie there's a forest guardian named Captain Goddamn. I think it's like a translation thing because it's only in the subtitles. So I reckon maybe in Czech he's named like Captain Rubbish or something like that. And it's like a mistranslation to Captain Goddamn. But you can find it on iTunes if you want to watch it. It's very cool. I really like it.
How do you spell it again? K-O-O-K-I-E?
K-Y. No, K-Y.
K-Y. Nice.
All right.
Any others for us, AJ?
I do. I have a few more. Pom Poko is an anime film about raccoons with testicles so large they are able to use them as parachutes. Is this an actual film?
Dream. Sorry, I'm not letting people too much time in the comments, but I'm absolutely going to say that's something you dreamed up after eating way too much cheese.
That is an actual film, Tim.
Fuck off.
Pom Poko is a Studio Ghibli film released in 1994 featuring tanuki or raccoon dogs, which are all animated with prominent testicles as the Japanese folklore surrounding the creature. That's like a must-have of the. It would be like having a unicorn without a horn, you know. So, tanukis have big balls, and it's a kids' cartoon.
Okay. Wow. Secret Beetle in the comments has actually seen this movie, so people are really experiencing this fine art, which could easily be mistaken for a cheese dream from AJ's brain.
There we go.
Maybe one more, AJ, for the good people.
Okay, one more. All right, let's look at what we've got. Okay,
We
gigantic.
can do a couple. If you've got them prepped, let's do a few.
I've got 4 more if we want to go through them. Oh, 5 more.
Shit,
Yep.
why not, mate? Well, this isn't television, YouTube. We can do what we want.
All right, cool. Gigantic is an indie romantic comedy about a couple who meet and fall in love over their shared desire to adopt a Chinese baby. In the end, the male lead also murders a hobo played by Zach Galifianakis.
What was the first bit again? Sorry, what are they? They're just people.
It's an indie rom-com, yeah, just about people who fall in love.
Okay. I'm going to say real. There's something about the Zach Galifianakis being murdered as a homeless man thing that just reads as true to me. I reckon that's a real movie.
It is a real movie. Gigantic also stars Paul Dano, Zooey Deschanel, and John Goodman. I think the murder of Zach Galifianakis in it is supposed to be like a symbolic thing. But I didn't know that when I first watched it, and I thought it was...
Is the movie actually about society, and the couple is actually our rampant love of communism and the damaging relationship we have with it?
I haven't seen it in a few years, but I think the hobo represents the main character's like insecurities. So he kills it at the end when he becomes a confident person.
Just a heads up as well, Strahan Cole, who is another one of our incredibly talented and hardworking behind-the-scenes artists who provides a lot of the title sequences and the music. We played Bath Time with Guy Montgomery earlier. That's all him. He said, to be honest, every Big Testicle movie is very good. And your experience of all of the Testicle film canon, can you co-sign that, AJ?
Yeah, I think so. The only other Testicle media I can think of off the top of my head is that episode of South Park where they microwave their balls so that they become really big and they jump around them like they're moon bouncers. I'm trying to think of other Testicle media I might have seen.
I've got like an image in my head, but I think it might be actually a Photoshop of a Star Wars character with a big bulbous ball Men
in Black 2. It's from Men in Black 2.
Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, a Balchinian from Men in Black 2.
Nice. I just gave you a Chiron, by the way. Blam! It says AJ Cult Pops Your Podcast.
Hell yeah, thanks so much.
Of live editing. What's your next one, bud?
All right, Feliz Cumpleaños is a Mexican film about a depressed man who is visited by a singing telegram dwarf in a sombrero, and he sings him happy birthday much to the depressed man's chagrin. The man and the dwarf go on a journey to discover who could have possibly cared enough to send a telegram in the first place.
I love the sound of this film, which I know is real because you couldn't pronounce Feliz Cumpleaños, which means happy birthday in Spanish.
Oh.
Definitely a real film, definitely something I want to check out. When was this movie made?
It wasn't made, Tim. It was a cheese dream.
What the fuck? How did you know what Feliz Cumpleaños was?
I looked it up. I just typed in happy birthday into a translator. You can do that now.
You fucking got me, man. Well done, AJ. You got me.
I remember that dream, and what happened was that the dwarf in the sombrero started singing happy birthday, and I think I was the guy, and I said, please don't do this. I don't need this. And the dwarf looked at me and he said, listen, I'm going to finish, but I'm going to finish for me. And I respected him enough, so I let him finish.
The movie 43 is the name of the film.
Yes.
That segment where Hugh Jackman has balls on his chin is very bad. That's from your co-host of your podcast, from Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Cool.
Have you seen that, by the way, movie 43?
I've seen clips of it, and every clip I've seen of it, I'm like, this looks hilarious. But everyone says it's bad.
Yeah, I know. I've got to do a watch of it one of these days because it just looks ridiculous. So is it weird, for those who haven't heard of this film, it has got an incredibly star-studded cast, like an outrageous number of very famous actors in it. And it seems like maybe they lied to the first person to sign them up, which I'm pretty sure is how Cats happened as well. And then they were like, well, we've got Hugh Jackman on board. So then the next person was like, well, yeah, I'll sign up. And then they were like, well, we've got this person and Hugh Jackman on board. And they were like, well, if they're on board. And it just became this domino effect of A-listers.
Yeah, it's by all accounts it's atrocious, but it looks so every sketch, because it's just a series of sketches, like really immature blue sketches, but I don't.
Can I give you the cast list just while we're here?
Yep.
So bear in mind, this is 2013. Hugh Jackman, Emma Stone, Kate Winslet, okay, Halle Berry, Gerard Butler, Chloe Grace Moretz, Elizabeth Banks, Anna Faris, Richard Gere is in this film, Naomi Watts, Liev Schreiber, Uma Thurman, Chris Pratt, Stephen Merchant. This is fucked, eh? Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Justin Long. It starts to taper off after that. Johnny Knoxville's in it. Sean William Scott. God damn it, this movie has a lot of people in it.
It's
Kate
funny.
Bosworth.
It descends into people you'd expect to be in the movie.
Yeah, a little bit. Johnny Knoxville's like, yeah, okay. I understand.
That could almost be a
maybe
cheese
just
room.
one.
It wasn't so specific.
Exactly. One last one, I reckon, AJ, and we'll bring this
All right.
fantastic first edition of this segment to a close.
Okay. My last one for you is Black Bear. This is a Canadian horror comedy film about a small neighborhood thrown into panic after sightings of a black bear roaming through backyards. Fears are put to rest when the bear turns out to be just a large domestic dog. However, the dog is actually a demonic shapeshifter who can transform into any black animal and continues to terrorize the town.
The good thing about this segment, AJ, is that I'm way less confident now because I've come out all guns blazing and been firmly wrong. So I'm going to say Cheese Dream for that one. I think this came from your brain.
It came from my brain. It was a cheese dream I had. There you go. Well done.
You've got an incredibly inventive brain. Like, you really need to start working on some treatments for these crazy cheese dreams you're having.
Yeah. I need to eat more cheese if this is going to be a recurring segment because I've only got I don't have an infinite supply of cheese dreams. Hey, if people in the comments want to send me their cheese dreams and I can add them to future segments, please go ahead. So that'd be cool.
That would be great. You can find AJ by just looking up Cult Popture online and you'll find all their social media, or you could send it direct to the show, thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. Thanks so much for joining us, AJ. You're a legend. Great segment.
Pleasure. Thank you, Tim. Bye.
That was Actual Movie or Cheese Dream with Alexander Jones of the Cult Popture podcast. His co-host is in the comments at the moment, Richard Martin. It's a really good podcast, and they do cool events over the course of the podcast as well. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the comments, you recently watched all the James Bond movies and ranked them. That might have been a different movie podcast, but I think it was you guys. Can we send you cheese as well, says Dave. Pretty tricky at the moment, unfortunately. Not a great time for international freight. What I've got for you guys now, and this has got an interesting story to it. Some beautiful art from a beautiful young woman called Ruby Esther. Ruby Esther is a comedian and a poet, award-winning in both pursuits, and she's also a singer-songwriter. And she made a song for us and sent it over to me because she watched the first few episodes of Happening and was like, Tim, I love what you're doing, and I never share the songs that I've written with other people, but I wrote this song, and just if you want, if it's the right vibe, play it on the show. But I totally understand if it's too much of a downer. And I said, okay, maybe... We're in the middle of James. Oh, that's someone. Okay, we'll get to that later. So she sent it over. The song is beautiful. It's called Comedians. And I made a deal with Ruby. I said, what about this? What if we combine the joy of my beautiful little dog Rufus in terms of the visuals, because there's no visuals to accompany the recording of the audio, with your beautiful song that you've written? And she said, yes, that would be my one note for the show. We need more Rufus on the show. So I was like, cool. So I went away and just edited up a bunch of photos that my wife and I had taken and videos with our phones of the dog over the top of this beautiful track. But now I've accidentally made a situation where it feels like I've created a funeral video for my dog. And I can assure you, the dog is alive and well and happy and well fed, and maybe we'll try and close the show with him after this. But in the meantime, please enjoy some visuals of my dog Rufus, but most importantly, this absolutely gorgeous song, original song by Ruby Esther, original YouTube, called Comedians.
just joking around like me. Because we're pretty when we talk and pretty when we joke, but we'd be prettier without clothes. So can we do both? Would that fit in with your plan? Or are we just a couple of comedians? I would like to be the one you adore, and I would like to be the one you use your landline for. But I'm just joking around. I'm just joking around like you. I would like to be the one holding your hand. I would like to be the one that betters the bad. But you're just joking around. You're just joking around like me. Because we're pretty when we talk and pretty when we joke, but we'd be prettier without clothes. So can we do both? Would that fit in with your plans? Or are we just a couple of comedians? Because regrets aren't happy about for once. Goddamn, dear, I'm sober. Because regrets aren't happy about for once. Goddamn, dear, I'm sober. Because regrets aren't happy about for once. Goddamn, dear, I'm sober. Because regrets aren't happy about for once. Goddamn, dear, I'm sober. And I know we're pretty when we talk and pretty when we joke, but we'd be prettier without clothes. So can we do both? Would that fit in with your plan? Or are we just a couple of comedians?
Folks, that was Ruby Esther with her beautiful song Comedians. Rufus is not dead. It's also Ruby's birthday today. So please follow her online, and next time she's doing comedy, check her out. Come here, buddy. Come here. I'll give you a treat. So thank you to Rufus for not agreeing to feature in that video. I'm very big on getting, people's consent to put them on camera, but realistically, he's a dog, so I think it's okay. But it is Ruby's birthday today. I'm pretty sure Facebook told me that, or it might have been yesterday. So Ruby, thank you so much for contributing that gorgeous song. And it coupled very well with Rufus, although it did give a funeral vibe, which is why I needed to get him on camera, just to show everyone that he's all good, if not a little bit ravenous. I actually had a couple of things more that I wanted to play. I see that Barnaby is in the chat. What's up, player? Barnaby Frederick is another multi-talented friend of mine who's been doing a lot of work on the show behind the scenes. So what I wanted to play for you now, I hope yeah, I have. I've jigged this up. So Barnaby and his gorgeous partner, Mary McCormick, have written us Rufus is off because Zoe's left the room. She wasn't going to get on camera because she wasn't camera ready. It's Sunday. So she was, Sunday comfortable. So I've got a song that they've made, which is called Brunswick Coin Laundry, which is super dope. They sent it to me and said it was like a Euro pop kind of affair. Do I have the email from them? No, I don't. I'll get it on the other side. But in the meanwhile, please enjoy this song, Brunswick Coin Laundry, some Europop trash. from Barnaby Frederick and Mary McCormick.
Doing the laundry, so much fun. I like to fold for everyone. Jokes that they bring me so much glee. Here at the Brunswick Coin Laundry.
I was just washing my clothes, and then I noticed his nose. He did not see my nose. He only sees the clothes.
I am not here to flirt. I'm here to iron this shirt and to eliminate dirt. I do not want to get hurt. Doing the laundry, so much fun. I like to fold for everyone. Jokes that they bring me so much glee. Here at the Brunswick Coin Laundry.
Why don't we leave the starch? Come and have a dance.
I am not here for romance. I'm here to dry these pants.
The laundry's not much fun when it is only just for one. Isn't there anyone for me here at the Brunswick Coin Laundry?
Barnaby Frederick and his partner Mary with Brunswick Coin Laundry. Thank you very much for that submission that they whipped up for the show. You can follow Barn on Instagram right there. Now, we're going to bring the show to a close now, but I think we should do it on a high. Just once again, Rufus is here. He's all good. He's okay. Everyone was loving your song though, Ruby, so happy birthday and thank you so much for sending that in to us. If you have any submissions for art, whatever art you're making, it could be a poem, it could be a short story, it could be a little drawing that you've made. Speaking of which, I need to get that on screen. This, I keep interrupting myself, it's so bad, I never finish a thought. The Twitter is at happening show, happening_show. Instagram is as well at happening_show, facebook.com/thisishappeningshow, and the email address is thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. That email address is also a PayPal if you'd like to chuck us a couple of bucks, buy us a coffee to try and ensure the long-term sustainability of this project. And there's also now a Patreon. I don't know what the rewards are just yet, but I will figure them out. And if you'd like to become like a sustaining supporter of this thing so that it can continue into the future, we'd really appreciate it. We'll be kicking half the money will go to me for the setup and time that I'm putting in, and half will go to all of the contributors who are helping put this show together behind the scenes. And that is patreon.com/happeningshow. You can go there and select the tier. Now, this is a picture that was sent in from Mika. It might be Micah. He actually said, it's Micah. He sent me a pronunciation guide. Good stuff. Hi, Tim. In the spirit of the worst idea of all time, I've set myself a task that I may come to regret. I will draw one piece of happening fan art per day for the duration of its existence. I was just checking my dog hasn't left. I'll kick my pieces along to you as long as you'll have them. So this is fantastic. I think this is in the spirit of the Obama 08 Hope poster. Love it to bits. Thank you so much, Micah, for that. And we'll be featuring more of Micah's art as time goes on, and I'll make sure I get a website or an Instagram handle for Micah as well so you can see the rest of his cool shit. Now, the reason we did a different time slot today, I hauled my ass out of bed a little bit earlier, is so we could get our UK viewers on board as well for the live stream. And as a special treat, we've got a segment from Ed Gamble, world famous UK comedian. Have I got this set up? Oh, maybe I don't. But I reckon I can do it while I talk to you because I'm pretty smart like that. You're probably familiar with Ed already because if you're watching this, you're probably a fan of comedy. And if you're a fan of comedy, you'll know your British comedians. He does a great podcast with James Acaster called Off Menu, where they get famous comedians, bring them on, and create like a custom dream dish or a whole like night of eating. And they've had some incredibly famous guests on there. It's a really good show. Let me concentrate for one moment and see if I can track down Ed's... Oh, maybe I don't have this. Oh, no, I do. Okay, here we go. That's it there, loaded into the system. All right, so now we should be joined for the first ever segment of Plague Food, hopefully the first of many, with UK comedian Ed Gamble. Enjoy.
Hello, Ed Gamble here, and despite what I look like, I'm absolutely fine. You join me here in the lockdown in the UK. Now, what you might not know about me is I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to food. So, here's my top 3 food tips / meals for during the lockdown. Number 1, apples. Apples are all tasty, aren't they? We love a lovely apple. But did you know when you finish an apple, you get the core, don't you? You probably did know that. But did you know that you can use the cores to make stock? That's right. When you finish your apple, chuck the core in a pot, boil that up lovely. You got yourself an apple soup. Number 2, hair. Your hair's getting long, isn't it? Can't go to the barbers because they're all ridden. Well, eat your own hair. Also pairs lovely with a flavoured shampoo. I use a mint shampoo. That means I've got dessert hair. Number 3, you've seen the film Hook, haven't you? That amazing thing where they imagine food. Well, if you've got Hook on DVD, eat that. It's quite sharp, spicy, but eat a DVD.
That is Ed Gamble, with the first ever, hopefully of many editions of Plague Food, True Food Aficionado. We're going to end the show there. We had a couple other segments, but I'll kick it into the next episode, happening 5, God willing. YouTube doesn't shut the whole platform down for us before we get to it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Feel free to send your submissions into thisishappeningshow@gmail.com. Thanks for all the people who have joined us in the live comments. Make sure you jump on live next time as well. It's good fun in the chat with everyone participating in the games and stuff there. And just like, I cannot stress this enough. Try and look after your mental health out there. Very critical. We're going to be going through a very different time for a little while. So you don't need to be paying attention to the news 24/7. Try and get some exercise, whether you're able to outside or in your own house. Look after yourselves out there. Have a beer. If that's a healthy decision for you, maybe have something else. If that's a healthy decision for you, I got to not run afoul of the terms of service because, these powers that be are being little bitches with the stream. But at any rate, we won't end on a negative. We'll end on a positive. Thanks for your art, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next episode of Happening. Goodbye.